Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about what's coming in episode 4, because the lines we're hearing already show that the story is moving from simple tension into full emotional confrontation. When people are throwing out comments like, "What do we have to do with rich people?" and then immediately shifting into, "Are you married to this girl, this village girl?" you can feel the class tension and judgment sitting underneath everything. Then the conversation cuts even deeper with the divorce being mentioned out loud and that brutal line, "You don't actually love me, what you're feeling isn't love." That's the kind of dialogue that doesn't just create drama, it exposes the truth that the characters have been trying to avoid. The moment divorce enters the open, the situation becomes real, and the consequences stop being theoretical. Even when Erkan promises, "Everything will be okay," it doesn't sound confident. It sounds like someone begging for control after losing it. From there, episode 4 clearly sets itself up as the emotional breaking point of the season so far. Erkan's biggest move, failing to resist his father and agreeing to marry Bursan, locks the entire story into one central conflict: love versus family. And the deeper you look, the more you realize this isn't a love choice at all. It's a survival choice. Erkan isn't acting from bravery or passion. He's acting from pressure. He lacks real independence, and instead of owning what he feels, he hides behind logic, responsibility, and what's expected. He puts on the mask of maturity, but underneath it is fear and avoidance. That's why this decision feels less like romance and more like surrender, and that surrender becomes the seed of the guilt and regret that will haunt him later. The hardest emotional damage from this decision hits Daikel. When she finds out about Erkan's marriage decision and breaks down crying, asking for help, it's not just sadness, it's her entire emotional armor collapsing. In the earlier episodes, Daikel was shown as proud, distant, and guarded, the kind of character who tries to survive by hiding how much she cares. But in this moment, she can't hold it in anymore. And that's exactly why it works so powerfully for the audience. Her vulnerability makes her pain feel real and personal. It stops being plot drama and turns into something human: abandonment, humiliation, and that awful question that hits when you're replaced too easily. Was I never worth fighting for? Those scenes are the kind that make viewers connect to her on a deeper level because her heartbreak isn't exaggerated, it's raw. But the episode doesn't leave Daikel in that broken place. That's where the entertainment night scene becomes the symbolic peak of the whole chapter. When Daikel shows up as the most beautiful girl of the night, it's not just a makeover moment or a simple "she got prettier" cliché. It's the visual language of rebirth. It's Daikel reclaiming her presence, her confidence, and her value. This is the classic theme of the unseen woman becoming visible, but here it carries emotional weight because it comes right after she hits rock bottom. The message is clear: she's not hiding her pain anymore, she's turning it into power. And that's why this glow doesn't feel like a one-night effect. It feels like a warning that she's not going back to the old version of herself. Erkan's shock when he sees her is one of the most important dramatic tools in the episode, because it tells us that the problem was never that Daikel changed too much. The real shock is that Erkan realizes he read her wrong the entire time. He thought he knew her. He thought she was manageable, quiet, predictable. But this version of Daikel forces him to confront how shallow his understanding was. And that's where the jealousy begins to grow. Because once he starts seeing her as valuable, once he starts noticing what he ignored, he can't unsee it. The irony hits hard. The woman he once barely looked at becomes the one person he can't stop thinking about. And as soon as jealousy shows up, that means feelings are no longer hidden. They're active, whether he admits it or not. This is also why episode 4 starts moving away from being just a basic love triangle and becomes more about character evolution and social pressure. Bursan isn't only a romantic rival. She starts to look like the symbol of the accepted life: status, family approval, tradition, the system that Erkan was trained to obey. That makes the conflict bigger than two women, one man. It becomes a battle between emotional truth and social order. And that's why the episode keeps pushing the theme of late realization. Love that isn't confessed doesn't just disappear, it turns poisonous. It creates resentment, regret, and emotional destruction because people start living the life they're supposed to live instead of the life they actually feel. So overall, Episode 4 has the potential to be the moment where relationships change direction and the characters' masks start falling off. Daikel's transformation strengthens the confidence theme and gives her dramatic weight as a leading woman, not just a love interest. Erkan's decision reinforces the idea that love requires courage, not just feelings. If the story continues in this direction, the main question won't be who loves who anymore. It will be who is brave enough to stand behind their feelings and who will crumble under pressure. And judging by what we're seeing, the love between Erkan and Daikel is starting for real, not officially, not with a confession, but in the way that matters most, in the way they start affecting each other so deeply that nothing feels the same again. All right, everyone, that's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you're excited to see how Daikel and Erkan's story unfolds, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Series World so you never miss our upcoming episode analyses and spoilers. Your support really helps the channel grow and keeps these discussions going. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Erkan truly loves Daikel and is just afraid to admit it? Or is he only realizing her value because he's about to lose her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it.